Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is Pamela, and you are watching Pam Entertainment TV, where we review movies, television series, and incidents in pop culture to see how those incidents affect our daily lives. Listen, this is just a very quick update on the Tory Lanez case. Listen, according to Megan Cuniff, we all have dubbed her Meg the Reporter, who was the one that was doing all the unbiased reporting from the courtroom versus all the bloggers and things that they were there. You know, each blogger had their own side that they wanted to land against. And that's what they were doing. They were reporting from that vantage point, from that narrative. All right. So we're just going to give you the information. Now, I am reading from Megan Cuniff's newsletter. If you want to be part of that, you can just go sign up to her newsletter at megancuniff.com, I believe is what it is. Yeah. She sends you email alerts, so you'll know exactly what you need to know. So according to her, prosecutors have filed a sentencing memorandum, because Tory Lanez is going to be sentenced next Tuesday. So prosecutors want Tory Lanez to serve 13 years in prison for shooting Meg Thee Stallion. So a sentence memorandum filed Tuesday cites Lanez's unprovoked attacks on singer August Alsina and his campaign of misinformation that has re-traumatized Megan. Now, if you don't know what before he went on trial, there was an incident between Tory Lanez and August Alsina, where Tory Lanez and a couple of his entourage beat up August Alsina. Now, there were no charges filed, but I guess they're looking at that as a pattern of behavior. And also, when they talked about the campaign of misinformation, you remember this is how we got to this, and everybody was Tory Lanez went online. He did songs. He did a whole half an album. And also, anybody that Meg was involved with, Tory Lanez made it a point to establish a relationship with them. So basically, he was taunting and terrorizing. Now, everybody online was like, "Oh, see, it's Megan," because Megan's sexual partners was in question, and everybody thought, well, because she had these sexual partners, then she deserved the terrorization that she got, or it wasn't terrorizing at all, because everybody was like, well, she was just shot in the foot, because first it went to he didn't shoot her, and then it went from he didn't shoot her, then it had to be Kelsey to shoot her. Well, Kelsey said that she didn't shoot her, and then when they went to trial, Kelsey said that she didn't shoot Megan, and then Tory's own witness came in and said he saw Tory shooting the gun wildly. So, and you also remember the little incidents, how Tory Lanez was at a 1501, which is Meg's record label. He was at some party with them, partying it up. Then he appeared at Rolling Loud under a mask right after Megan, right after Megan performed, the baby performed, and then the baby brought out Tory Lanez. And Tory Lanez had a restraining order against him to not be around Meg. What are you doing at her place of work? You had no business being there. And the baby brought you there, and then we all know what happened to the baby after that particular incident. So I'm going to read to you what Megan Cuniff has put in her on her website. And this is the memorandum from, so I'm going to read it. Superior Court of the State of California for the County of Los Angeles. People of the State of California are the plaintiff. Daystar Peterson is the defendant. And then they go on with their cases. The People's Sentencing Memorandum pursuant to Final Court Code Section, I don't have my glasses, y'all, so I think it says 1170. And this is the date for June the 13th. So this is what they have put in to be filed on June the 13th. It says prosecutors want Tory Lanez to serve 13 years in prison for shooting Meg Thee Stallion, citing his campaign of misinformation aimed at humiliating and re-traumatizing her. I'll read on. Words have power, and the pen is oftentimes mightier than the sword. In this case, Daystar Peterson used both. According to a memorandum filed Tuesday referring to Lanez's legal name, and this is in parentheses, not content to have to hurt the victim by use of his sword, and in parentheses, gun, he also used his pen. His online posts for nearly 3 years have re-traumatized the victim. His online reach is worldwide. He has millions of followers plus casual observers. And the defendant's statements embolden his followers so that they too have been complicit in the re-traumatization of the victim, which is Meg. It continues. He is responsible for the effect of his words and his action. The memo serves as a recommendation for the Los Angeles County Superior Court Judge David Hereford, who is scheduled to sentence Lane next Tuesday, June 13th. It details Lane's 3 violations of court orders before trial, including his breach of a protective order at the Rolling Loud Festival in Miami in July 2021, and his brief jailing in April 2022 for posting a DNA evidence report online, along with derogatory comments about Megan. It describes his unprovoked attack on singer August Alsina in Chicago last September and his recent false claims that prosecutor falsified and suppressed evidence. It also cites Lane's full-length album. Wait a minute, y'all. We just talked about that. Yeah, he did a whole album with several songs about the shooting as an example of him profiting from his crimes, while arguing his jail call to Megan's now former friend Kelsey Harris hours after the shooting is tantamount to a confession. Okay. So those are the things that they're using in this sentence memorandum as to the reason why they believe that Tory Lanez should get 13 years in prison. Interesting. What do y'all think about that? I just read this again. I read this from Megan Cuniff. She has a newsletter that she sends out, and I've just read that from her email email attachment that she sent. So you can follow her on Twitter, MEGHANN, last name Cuniff, CUNIFF. You can get part of her mailing list and this information of all the trials that she's reporting in, that she's covering. You'll get the information. So what do you all think about that? What do you think about that? If you're fans of Tory Lanez, do you think that this is a rough deal? What do you think's going on? If you're fans of Megan Thee Stallion, how do you feel about this sentencing guidelines? And if you're like me, just neutral, and you really, you care, but you just want everybody to know the information, what do you think? Here at Pam Entertainment TV, I think that they summed it up well, because we saw all of this handled online. You saw the people who were for Tory Lanez and all the vitriol that was coming towards Meg in regards to that. You had just basic trolls who were, in the vitriol as well. And I imagine that had to have been humiliating, degrading, and everything else. And also, if you really want to look at it, how it affects court of public opinion, because that could have swayed and affected the jury if you already had a preconceived notion of what you knew and what you didn't know what happened. So we will see what the judge recommends on June the 13th. So please like, comment, and subscribe. I appreciate you all watching. And as always, people, bye-bye.